Every day we are faced with two choices: to be shaped by life's challenges or to shape ourselves into something stronger. The difference between those who rise and those who fall isn't luck or talent, it's mindset. An unbreakable mindset is not something we're born with, it's something we build one day at a time. Today I want to share with you 5 daily practices that will strengthen your mind, elevate your resilience, and help you navigate life with unshakable confidence. Clarity drives purpose. Because without knowing who you are and what you stand for, it's impossible to move forward with confidence. Every great achievement begins with a clear sense of direction. The most powerful minds in the world are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who know exactly why they are doing what they're doing. Clarity creates focus, and focus creates power. When your mind is scattered, trying to be everything to everyone, you lose sight of your own path. But when you get clear on your purpose, everything else starts to fall into place. Clarity starts by asking yourself the hard questions, the kind of questions most people avoid. Who am I? What do I truly want from life? What kind of person do I want to become? These questions aren't always easy to answer, but they are necessary. Without clarity, we drift through life reacting to whatever comes our way. We wake up, go through the motions, and hope something good happens. But hope is not a strategy. Purpose is. When you wake up every morning with a clear sense of who you are and what you're working toward, you move differently. You speak differently. You carry yourself differently. Clarity gives you a reason to keep going when things get hard. It becomes your anchor in the middle of the storm. People with purpose don't quit not because they're stronger or smarter, but because they know exactly why they started in the first place. The truth is, most people are not lacking motivation, they're lacking clarity. They don't wake up inspired because they haven't taken the time to define what they're fighting for. They haven't created a vision for their life that pulls them forward. When you know your why, the how becomes easier. You stop chasing every opportunity that comes your way and start choosing only what aligns with your vision. That kind of focus is what builds mental toughness. Clarity is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. Every morning you have to remind yourself of your purpose. You have to reconnect with your vision before the world distracts you. Write it down. Speak it out loud. What kind of person do you want to be? And answer that question, you're setting an intention for your day. You're choosing to live with purpose rather than letting life happen to you. But clarity isn't just about knowing what you want, it's about knowing what you're willing to sacrifice to get there. It's about aligning your daily habits with your bigger vision. You can't say you want to become the best version of yourself while holding on to habits that keep you stuck. Clarity forces you to be honest with yourself. It makes you ask, is what I'm doing today helping me become the person I want to be tomorrow? There will be days when you don't feel like showing up. Days when self-doubt creeps in and the vision feels too far away. That's when clarity becomes your greatest weapon. When the mind is clear, the body follows. You don't negotiate with your feelings, you follow your purpose. Every action you take is either bringing you closer to your vision or pulling you further away from it. Clarity makes the decision simple, even when the process is hard. What most people don't realize is that clarity creates confidence. The more certain you are about your purpose, the less you care about what other people think. You stop seeking validation from the outside world because you know exactly who you are on the inside. That kind of confidence is magnetic. It changes the way you walk into a room. It changes the way you handle rejection. It changes the way you see every obstacle, not as something standing in your way, but as something shaping you into the person you're meant to become. Clarity isn't something you find, it's something you create. It starts with a decision to be intentional with your life. It's about choosing to show up every day with purpose, even when you don't have all the answers. Even when the path isn't clear, you trust that if you just keep moving forward, the vision will unfold in front of you. When you live with clarity, life stops happening to you and starts happening through you. You're no longer waiting for the perfect opportunity, you create it. You're no longer hoping for things to change, you become the change. The world doesn't shape your mindset, you shape the world around you. That is the power of clarity. That is the power of knowing who you are and what you're here to do. If you're struggling to find your purpose, don't wait for it to magically appear. Start by making one decision today, decide who you want to become. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Carry that vision with you everywhere you go, because the moment you gain clarity, your whole life begins to shift. And when you get clear on your purpose, you become unstoppable. Discipline will take you places that motivation never will. Motivation is a feeling, it comes and goes like a spark. Some days you wake up inspired, ready to conquer the world. Other days you don't feel like getting out of feel. That's the difference between those who succeed and those who stop halfway. Discipline is not built on how you feel, it's built on what you decide to do, regardless of how you feel. The truth is, waiting for motivation is one of the biggest traps you can fall into. If you only show up on the days when you feel inspired, you'll never reach your full potential. Because the reality is, most days you won't feel motivated. The mind will always find an excuse. I'm tired, I'll start tomorrow, it's not the right time, but discipline ignores those excuses. Discipline says, I'm doing this because I said I would. That decision, repeated day after day, is what builds an unbreakable mindset. Discipline isn't glamorous, it's not loud or exciting. It's waking up early when nobody's watching. It's showing up to the gym when your body is tired. It's working on your dreams when the world is asleep. The results that everyone admires are built in the quiet hours when no one is clapping for you. That's where mental toughness is forged, not in the moments of inspiration, but in the moments of sacrifice. The secret to discipline is understanding that it's not about how much you do, it's about showing up consistently, even in small ways. A lot of people think success is about big, dramatic actions. But the truth is, success is built through small habits repeated every single day. It's making one healthy meal when you'd rather order junk food. It's reading 10 pages of a book when you'd rather scroll through your phone. It's writing one paragraph when you don't feel like writing at all. Those small choices may not feel like much in the moment, but over time they compound into something powerful. Discipline is the highest form of self-respect. When you keep the promises you make to yourself, you build trust with your own mind. Every time you follow through on what you said you would do, you're proving to yourself that you're capable. You're sending a message to your own mind, I can count on me. That trust becomes the foundation of confidence. And when you trust yourself, nothing can break you. The challenge is that most people only associate discipline with sacrifice. They see it as something hard or painful. But what if you flipped the script? What if you saw discipline as a form of self-love? Because that's exactly what it is. Discipline is choosing your future self over your current feelings. It's saying, I care about the person I'm becoming more than I care about this temporary comfort. That perspective shift changes everything. There will be days when you don't want to show up, days when your mind tries to convince you to take it easy. But those are the most important days to push through, because that's when discipline is built. When everything inside you is telling you to quit, but you choose to keep going, that's where you separate yourself from the crowd. Anyone can show up when they feel good, but it's what you do when you don't feel like it that defines who you become. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about consistency. You will have off days. You will stumble. But what matters is that you never let one bad day turn into two. The most disciplined people in the world aren't perfect, they're just relentless. They get back up every time they fall. They reset and keep moving forward. The beauty of discipline is that it doesn't rely on external factors. It doesn't matter what's happening around you. It doesn't matter if people believe in you or if no one is watching. Discipline is something you own. It's a promise you make to yourself, and no one can take that away from you. Over time, discipline becomes part of your identity. It stops being something you have to force, and it becomes simply who you are. You're no longer someone who tries, you become someone who does. That shift is where real confidence is born. You don't need motivation to carry you anymore because you've built a system that carries itself. If you're waiting for motivation, you'll be waiting forever. But if you build discipline, you'll move forward every single day, no matter what life throws at you. And the best part is, the more disciplined you become, the more confident you feel. You stop waiting to feel inspired and start acting in alignment with the person you're becoming. Discipline is freedom. It may feel restrictive at first, but what you're really doing is creating a life where your emotions no longer control you. You're breaking free from the cycle of starting and stopping. You're proving to yourself that you're stronger than your excuses. So don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is the moment you decide to show up no matter how you feel. Because once you master discipline, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. The most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Self-talk shapes reality because the mind is always listening. The words you speak to yourself, whether out loud or silently, create the blueprint for the life you build. Every thought you repeat becomes a seed planted in your subconscious mind, and over time, those seeds grow into beliefs that shape how you see yourself and what you believe you're capable of achieving. Most people underestimate the power of self-talk because it happens in silence. It's not something the world can see. but it affects everything. The way you speak to yourself influences how you show up, how you handle setbacks, and how far you're willing to push yourself. If your inner dialogue is filled with doubt, negativity, and fear, you'll constantly sabotage your own potential without even realizing it. But if you train yourself to speak with confidence, belief, and positivity, you'll unlock a version of yourself that most people never get to see. The mind doesn't know the difference between truth and a lie. It only believes what you tell it most often. If you keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I'm not ready, your mind accepts that as fact. And the more you repeat those thoughts, the deeper they become wired into your identity. But the same principle works in the opposite direction. If you tell yourself, I am capable, I will figure this out, I am becoming stronger, every day your mind will start to align with those beliefs, even if you don't fully believe them at first. Self-talk is a habit, and like any habit, it can be changed. The first step is becoming aware of the conversations happening in your mind. Pay attention to the words you're speaking to yourself throughout the day. How do you talk to yourself when you're struggling? When you're tired, when you make a mistake? Most of us are harder on ourselves than we would ever be on anyone else. We speak to ourselves in ways we would never speak to a friend. The key to reshaping your self-talk is simple. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to someone you love. If your best friend was going through a hard time, you wouldn't say, you're a failure, you'll never make it. You would say, it's okay, you're doing your best. You've got this. Imagine what would happen if you gave yourself that same compassion and encouragement every single day. Positive self-talk is not about lying to yourself or ignoring reality. It's about choosing a more powerful narrative. Instead of saying, I'm not good at this, say, I'm learning how to get better. Instead of saying, this is too hard, say, this is making me stronger. If that small shift changes everything, because it moves your mind from self-pity to self-empowerment. The most powerful thing about self-talk is that it creates your emotional state. If your mind is filled with negative, defeating thoughts, you'll feel weak, anxious, and unmotivated. But when you speak life into yourself, even in the middle of struggle, you create energy, confidence, and resilience. Your emotions follow your thoughts, not the other way around. That's why controlling your self-talk is one of the most important tools for building an unbreakable mindset. There will always be moments of doubt, fear, and insecurity. That's part of being human. But the difference between those who break and those who rise is how they speak to themselves in those moments. The strongest minds are not the ones who never struggle, they're the ones who know how to coach themselves through the struggle. They become their own biggest supporters, even when the world is silent. One of the most powerful ways to reshape your self-talk is through affirmations. Affirmations are not just feel-good phrases, they're tools for rewiring your subconscious mind. When you speak positive affirmations out loud consistently, you're programming your mind with new beliefs. It might feel awkward at first, but with repetition, those words will become your truth. Wake up every morning and say, I am strong. I am capable. I am becoming the person I'm meant to be. Say it even when you don't believe it, especially when you don't believe it. Because eventually your mind will catch up to your words. Your self-talk isn't just shaping your mindset, it's shaping your entire reality. The way you speak to yourself affects how you carry yourself, how you pursue your goals, and how you interact with the world. When you speak with confidence, the world responds differently to you. When you believe in yourself, opportunities start to open up. The mind always looks for evidence to confirm what it believes, so if you tell yourself you're capable, you'll start to see proof of that everywhere. Most people spend their whole lives waiting for the outside world to validate them before they believe in themselves. But the truth is, the world will never believe in you until you believe in yourself first. The relationship you have with yourself sets the standard for every other area of your life. If you're serious about building an unbreakable mindset, start by mastering your self-talk. Guard your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Replace self-doubt with self-belief. Replace fear with faith. Replace criticism with encouragement. Speak life into yourself every single day, no matter what you're going through. Because the words you speak to yourself today are creating the person you'll become tomorrow. You don't have to wait until you're confident to start speaking positively to yourself. Speak it now, and confidence will follow. Talk to yourself like a winner long before the world sees it, because the most powerful transformations always happen in the mind first. When you change the way you speak to yourself, you change the way you see yourself, and when you change the way you see yourself, you change your entire life. Resilience is not something you're born with, it's something you choose every single day. Life will test you. It will break you down, throw unexpected challenges your way, and push you to your limits. But the difference between those who rise and those who stay down isn't strength or talent. It's the choice to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. Resilience isn't built in the big moments. It's built in the small decisions you make daily. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond. Every day, you're faced with hundreds of small moments that test your resilience. Waking up early when you'd rather sleep in, pushing through a workout when your body is tired, staying focused on your goals when no one is clapping for you. Most people think resilience is about bouncing back from massive setbacks, but it's really about the little battles you fight every single day. When you win those small battles consistently, you become someone who doesn't break when life gets hard. You become someone who bends but never snaps. The truth is, life is never going to be easy. There will always be obstacles, setbacks, and moments that challenge your patience, your belief, and your strength. But resilience is built the moment you decide that no matter how hard life gets, you will keep moving forward. It's waking up every day and choosing to face the world head on, even when you're tired, even when you're doubting yourself, even when the progress feels painfully slow. Resilience isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily commitment. It's choosing to see setbacks as setups for growth instead of reasons to quit. Most people give up not because they can't succeed, but because they expect the journey to be easier than it is. They believe that if something feels hard, it must mean they're not meant to do it. But the truth is, everything worth having will test you before it rewards you. Resilient people understand that struggle is part of the process. They don't ask, why is this happening to me? They ask, what is this teaching me? Every time life knocks you down, you have two choices: to let the pain break you or to let it build you. The moment you choose to get back up, no matter how small that step is, you are building resilience. It doesn't matter how long it takes or how messy the process looks. What matters is that you refuse to stay down. Resilience is the voice inside you that says, not today. I'm not done yet. But resilience isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending you're fine. It's about feeling every ounce of the pain, disappointment, and frustration, and still choosing to keep going. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel like you're falling apart. But what you can't do is let those feelings stop you. The strongest people are not the ones who never feel broken. They're the ones who learn how to rebuild themselves every single day. Resilient people understand that every challenge carries a hidden gift. Pain stretches you. Failure teaches you. Rejection redirects you. But you can only see those lessons if you're willing to keep going long enough for the storm to pass. Most people quit right before the breakthrough, not because they can't handle the pain, but because they don't realize how close they are to growth. Every setback is shaping you into the person you're meant to become if you're willing to trust the process. The beautiful thing about resilience is that it compounds over time. The more you choose to keep going, the stronger you become. What once broke you will barely shake you. What once made you doubt yourself will eventually fuel your confidence. Every time you choose to rise, you're wiring your mind to believe in your own strength. You're proving to yourself that you're capable of handling whatever life throws at you. But resilience isn't built by chance. It's built through intentional daily choices. It starts the moment you wake up. It starts with how you talk to yourself when things don't go as planned. It starts with how you show up when no one is watching. You don't need to wait for life to knock you down to practice resilience. You can build it every single day by doing hard things on purpose, by stepping outside your comfort zone, by pushing through discomfort, by proving to yourself that you're stronger than your excuses. Resilience is not about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's about showing up on the days when you're tired, broken, and uncertain. It's about trusting that even though you can't see the whole picture right now, every small step forward is shaping you into someone unstoppable. You don't need anyone's permission to be resilient. You don't need the perfect circumstances or the right timing. All you need is the decision to keep going one day at a time. Resilience is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows the more you use it. The more you choose to show up, the more unstoppable you become. At the end of the day, resilience is not what happens to you. It's what happens inside you. It's the small voice that whispers, I can handle this when everything around you is falling apart. It's the quiet strength that says, I will not let this break me. And the best part is, resilience is not reserved for a special few. It's something every single one of us can build. No matter what you're going through right now, you have the power to choose resilience. You have the power to rise. It doesn't matter how long the journey takes or how many times you've fallen. What matters is that you're still standing. What matters is that you refuse to quit. Because the moment you choose resilience day after day, you become unstoppable. Keep going. Keep rising. And remember, resilience isn't built in one moment. It's built in every small decision you make when no one is watching. Choose it daily, and you'll become someone the world cannot break. Gratitude is one of the most underrated tools for building mental strength. It's easy to overlook because it feels so simple, almost too simple. But the truth is, gratitude has the power to shift your entire mindset. When life gets hard, most people focus on everything that's going wrong. They get caught up in frustration, disappointment, and what they lack. But the strongest minds understand that even in the middle of struggle, there's always something to be grateful for. Gratitude doesn't ignore the hard moments. It gives you the strength to face them with a different perspective. The mind is constantly searching for proof to confirm what you believe. If you're always focused on what's missing or what's going wrong, your mind will find more reasons to feel negative. But when you intentionally practice gratitude, you're training your mind to find what's good even in the middle of challenges. What you focus on expands. When you choose to focus on what's right in your life, you automatically create more mental and emotional strength to handle what's wrong. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you when things are going well. It's about finding something to appreciate, even when everything feels like it's falling apart. Anyone can be grateful when life is easy, but true mental strength is built when you choose gratitude in the middle of the storm. It's looking at your struggles and saying, this is hard, but I'm grateful for the lesson. It's facing rejection and saying, this hurts, but I'm grateful for the redirection. Gratitude shifts your mindset from why is this happening to me to what is this teaching me. One of the most powerful things about gratitude is that it instantly brings you back to the present moment. So many people spend their lives either chasing the future or dwelling on the past. They're always waiting for something to happen before they allow themselves to feel happy, waiting for the perfect job, the perfect relationship, or the perfect opportunity. But the truth is, if you're not grateful for what you have now, you'll never be grateful for what comes next. Gratitude teaches you that you don't have to wait for your life to be perfect to appreciate how far you've come. Gratitude is a daily practice, not a one-time action. It's waking up every morning and choosing to focus on what's good before your mind starts racing with stress and worries. It's taking a few moments to appreciate the small things, the fact that you woke up, that you have another day to grow, that you have people who care about you. These small moments of gratitude may seem insignificant, but over time they rewire your entire mindset. They remind you that even on your hardest days, there's still something to be thankful for. Gratitude builds strength because it shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have. It reminds you that you're already equipped with everything you need to become the person you're meant to be. When you're grateful for what you have, you stop feeling like a victim and start seeing yourself as someone who's already blessed even in the struggle. That shift alone can change how you approach every challenge in your life. Gratitude also fuels resilience. When life knocks you down, it's easy to fall into a mindset of self-pity, asking, why me? But gratitude forces you to ask a different question. What is this teaching me? That small shift takes you from feeling powerless to feeling in control. It reminds you that every setback is shaping you, every failure is teaching you, and every closed door is redirecting you towards something better. When you consistently practice gratitude, you start to see that your greatest struggles often come with hidden blessings. The heartbreak that made you stronger, the failure that taught you how to keep going, the rejection that protected you from the wrong path. Gratitude doesn't erase the pain, but it gives the pain a purpose. It helps you see that even in your darkest moments, life is still working for you, not against you. Gratitude builds mental strength because it forces you to slow down and appreciate the journey, not just the destination. Most people are so focused on where they want to go that they forget how far they've already come. But when you pause to acknowledge the small wins, the little moments of progress, and the blessings you once prayed for, you start to realize you're already stronger than you think. Gratitude isn't about ignoring the hard parts of life. It's about choosing to see the beauty in the middle of them. It's about training your mind to find something good even when everything feels heavy. That mindset creates an unshakable inner strength because it reminds you that no matter what you're going through, there's always something to be thankful for. The most powerful thing about gratitude is that it's always within your control. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you choose to see it. Gratitude is a choice, a daily decision to focus on what's right instead of what's wrong. That decision, repeated day after day, will reshape your entire reality. If you want to build an unbreakable mindset, start with gratitude. Start by finding one thing every single day to be thankful for, even on the hard days, especially on the hard days. Write it down. Say it out loud. Train your mind no matter what you're going through. Because the more you choose gratitude, the stronger you become. Gratitude doesn't just change your mindset, it changes your entire life. It gives you the power to turn pain into purpose, setbacks into lessons, and struggle into strength. The world may try to break you, but when you're rooted in gratitude, nothing can steal your peace. Choose gratitude every day, and you'll discover that even in the middle of your hardest battles, you're already stronger than you ever imagined. Progress over perfection is one of the most powerful mindsets you can adopt to build an unbreakable mindset. Too many people get trapped in the idea that they have to be perfect before they even start. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect version of themselves before they take action, but that perfect moment never comes. Perfection is an illusion that holds more people back than failure ever will. The truth is, success is never about being perfect, it's about making consistent progress, no matter how small. The desire for perfection often comes from fear of fail, fear of judgment, or fear of not being enough. But what most people don't realize is that waiting for perfection is just another form of procrastination. It's a way to avoid the discomfort of starting something messy or unknown. But growth is never clean, it's always messy. The strongest minds understand that the goal is not to be perfect, the goal is to get better, little by little, every single day. Progress builds confidence. Every small step forward reinforces the belief that you're capable of more. But when you chase perfection, you're constantly measuring yourself against an impossible standard, and that can leave you feeling like you're never enough. The more you obsess over getting everything right, the more you paralyze yourself from taking action. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who got everything right from the start. They're the ones who had the courage to start before they were ready and figure things out along the way. Progress requires patience. It means accepting that you're not going to have all the answers on day one. It means giving yourself permission to learn as you go, to make mistakes, and to grow through the process. Every mistake you make is proof that you're trying. Every setback is teaching you something new. The journey to becoming your best self will always come with detours, failures, and lessons, but those moments are not signs that you're failing, they're signs that you're evolving. The mindset of progress over perfection teaches you to celebrate small wins. Too often, people only celebrate the big milestones, the promotions, the weight loss transformations, or the dream goals finally achieved. But what about the days you showed up when you didn't feel like it? What about the times you kept going when no one was watching? Those small victories are just as important because consistency will always beat perfection in the long run. Progress isn't always visible. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs are happening beneath the surface when you're showing up day after day with no visible results. That's where most people quit because they don't realize that even small, unseen progress is still progress. The strongest minds understand that results are always delayed. The work you're putting in today might not pay off for weeks, months, or even years, but every action is planting a seed. Choosing progress over perfection also means letting go of the need to compare your journey to others. Social media makes it easy to believe that everyone else has it all figured out, but what you're seeing is only the highlight reel, not the struggle behind the scenes. Your journey is yours. Your pace is yours. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Perfection is rooted in ego. It's the fear of looking foolish or vulnerable. But progress is rooted in humility. It's the willingness to be a beginner, to show up even when you're not the best, and to trust that you'll get better with time. Progress allows you to embrace the messy middle part of the journey where you're still figuring things out, making mistakes and learning along the way. One of the hardest lessons to accept is that you'll never feel fully ready. The perfect plan will never come. There will always be doubts, fears, and reasons to wait. But the only way to build confidence is through action. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you earn through showing up every single day, even when you're unsure. Progress is what turns doubt into belief. Every day you have a choice to wait for perfect circumstances or to take one small step forward. Those small steps might not feel like much in the moment, but over time they add up. One workout, one healthy meal, one extra hour of study, one honest conversation, one act of courage. Those little decisions compound into massive transformation if you stay consistent. Progress over perfection teaches you that you're worthy before you reach the goal, not just when you achieve it. Your value isn't defined by how perfect you are, it's defined by your willingness to keep going, even when the process feels slow. Every time you choose progress, you're proving to yourself that you are capable, resilient, and worthy of becoming the person you're meant to be. The most powerful mindset shift you can make is to fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. When you learn to appreciate the journey, the struggles, the small wins, and the lessons, you become unstoppable. Perfection tells you that you're only enough once you've made it. Progress reminds you that you're enough simply because you're trying. If you're serious about building an unbreakable mindset, stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. Stop waiting for the fear to disappear. Start it messy. Start scared. Start before you feel ready. The only thing that matters is that you start and that you keep going. Every day you choose progress, you're rewiring your mind to believe in yourself a little more. You're proving to yourself that you're capable of doing hard things. And the more you choose progress over perfection, the stronger you become, not just physically, but mentally. Don't aim to be perfect, aim to be consistent. Aim to be the person who shows up no matter what. Because at the end of the day, the person who keeps going always beats the person who waits to get it perfect. Progress will always outlast perfection. Choose it daily and you'll build a mindset that nothing in this world can break.